So what else can we expect from the RNC this week? Well, I asked a local political analyst about that and his thoughts on the DNC. Joining us is Anthony Tregoski. He's an assistant professor in the Political Science and Public Administration Department at UW-La Crosse. Hey, thanks so much for joining us, Anthony. Let's start with a look back at the DNC. What moments stood out to you?
I think, Mal, there was a major focus in the DNC about Biden's character and his personality and the type of leader he would be. There wasn't a lot of talk about policy at the DNC. There's a lot of talk about the positive attributes that they feel will draw voters to Joe Biden and talk about the stakes of the election. I mean, we heard Barack Obama talk like we rarely hear a sitting president, former president talk about a sitting president. Barack Obama is saying basically that Trump is not interested in doing the job and incapable of doing the job as president. So we heard some really stark rhetoric by the Democrats that tried to really present what they view as the high stakes of this upcoming election.
And there are some really high stakes, especially here in Wisconsin, but notably, Joe Biden was not here, and neither was his vice presidential pick, Senator Kamala Harris. They were actually in Delaware, and Republicans were very quick to jump on this. Do you think this might hurt him in the long run?
I don't think so, Mal. I mean, you're right. If you blinked, you missed the Wisconsin elements of the convention. But there's little evidence and little indication that this would be anything impactful in the results of the election. I think this will be ancient history by the time we get to November. However, it was a symbolic hit to the Democrats because the whole point of having the convention in Milwaukee was to basically make up for what happened in 2016 when they were perceived as overlooking and forgetting about the state of Wisconsin. So I think it's a symbolic hit in the short term, but I don't think it'll have any long-term ramifications.
Let's switch gears now and take a look at the RNC. What do you expect to hear from the event this week?
Well, I expect to hear a lot about kind of Donald Trump's record and why he feels that he deserves re-election. Mal, when you look at the roster of speakers, it really is a Trump-friendly line of speakers, lots of members of his own family and lots of close allies of his administration. And when I was looking through the list of speakers at the Republican convention, it just really hit me how Trump has remade the Republican Party in his own image. There are no George W. Bushes there. There are no Mitt Romneys there. There are no Paul Ryans on the convention speaking list. It's really all about close allies of Donald Trump. And so that should be the focus of the convention. At least that's my expectation.
All right. Hey, thanks so much, Anthony, for joining us. We do appreciate your insight.
Thanks, Mal.
And CBS will have special coverage of the Republican National Convention starting tomorrow night at 9 o'clock and starting at the same time each night through Thursday. You can also watch ongoing coverage on CBS's free streaming news service at CBSN starting at 4 o'clock each night of the convention.